Hi, this is Charlie giving you Friday's market commentary. It's actually just come up to 9 a.m. I'd already started another recording, but it was about 9 minutes in and nothing's really happened yet, so I thought I'd just scratch that one and start again. But we are in a trade here, but only on the yen. And I've tried a short actually earlier on when we broke down a little bit here. It was about 7:30. I'm still in it because I just put a stop up here. I've put it in a very small position. I'll show you the account. Put a small position on here. Just literally just two 50,000 half lot size, so one lot trade, so very small, because with about a 10-point stop, as you can see, 36 was entered in at 25, so it's very, very small, but the risk to reward on this potential trade is very big. Basically, why did I take it? Well, we broke down, like I said this morning, at around about 7:30, so I took it then, and just looking at it, thought, well, for the risk to reward, if it works out and it starts to play down, let's take us to an hourly chart. Then we've got quite a lot of potential. We've got a daily pivot down at 99.92, so down here. But really, I'm looking at a 4-hour 50, which is right down at 99. So risk to reward is like risking 10 points to make 130 sort of thing. So but I don't know if it's going to work out. We're so close to my stop. Look, we're at 30 now already, and maybe I'm just going to get stopped here just on the noise, which looks like that could well happen. I suspect it's probably going to want to take these highs out, and because it's sometimes when you see a market consolidating for a long period, what will usually happen is it will want to come out and take out the most recent highs or lows, even if it ultimately wants to roll over, because that's just what they do if it's consolidated for too long, because too many stops have now been built up, I suspect. So that's probably what will happen anyway. But like I said earlier on, it's risking £70 basically, so I've kept it very, very small there. Why have I not traded Aussie this morning? Well, Aussie still hasn't got positive momentum on the hourly charts as yet, but Aussie has had a nice move. But I am long on Aussie elsewhere on another account, so I've already got exposure there anyway, so I thought I'd try this on the yen. But and the other currencies, actually pound I saw was coming down, but again on the pound we haven't even got any negative momentum on the hourly charts yet, so even though it's had a nice push down, so at the moment I'm just sort of sitting here in a stagnant market. I've got a feeling probably the euro dollars, I don't know, I haven't watched it. Oh, it's come down a little bit, but I don't think the euro had negative momentum either, no, on the hourly charts, not when I last looked at it. So yeah, it's just a case of playing a wait and see. Obviously, it's non-farm payrolls today, so we don't know what's going to happen. In that, these markets could just all slow up and not do anything for a long, long time, a bit like the yen already. Okay, so let's have a quick look at a couple of things here. Firstly, if you haven't already signed up for it, we've got our new webinar coming up next Thursday, how to turn 10,000 account into a 100,000 account in less than 2 years. I'll be presenting that, going through all the reasons why and how you can do it, but obviously I'm going through all of the, so you need to scroll across, sorry, if you come to the main page, to easytrader.com, go to webinars, and then I think it's on there. There it is. Also showing why the odds are stacked against people and why so many traders fail and all those reasons as well. But actually, what I'm showing you is how you can actually do it as well, how it is possible. Why is it possible for some people and not for others? Why can some traders have these stellar results and not others? And what I'm actually going to look to do is oh no, I'm not going to say anything more. I'm not going to give it all away. So, okay. So that's that. Let's go to the daily charts. So I want to have a look at a couple of things. Oil, great run on oil so far. So I'd have my first target at 101.50, which got struck a couple of days ago. These charts aren't live. This is yesterday's bar on the daily charts here. I'm looking at 105 as the next target now. So we talked about this pattern for at least a month. I've been talking about this pattern, if not a bit longer, and it's finally we got the break. So obviously we had the break a couple of weeks ago, went up, hit the first target, then rolled over, stopped out for 50 pips on the second half, but taken first target at 99. This time got back in at 98.50 and had a good run for 200 pips, and then and I've now moved my stop up to 98.50. I've just kept it fairly tight now and just seeing if it's going to run. So we'll see on that one. S&P, again, it's still in this channel, but it could want to break out to the upside. Like I said, it was in a bit of no man's land at the moment, but we'll have to see. If it does start to break the upper end of this channel, then that could be very interesting. The big one that I'm seeing at the moment is gold, actually. So if I take us out to a monthly chart of gold, I can't show you my other charts, but my momentum charts are starting to indicate that this could be nearing a low. Now that is based on a monthly time frame, so nearing a low on a monthly time frame could still take another 2 or 3 months yet, but it's nearing a low, so it's possible that it could want to come down to the 1100 and come down to this monthly 100 MA, but it's given me indication actually that on also monthly time frames, it doesn't help me too much as far as very near term, but it certainly tells me that the flush has been good, and that certainly probably over the next 6 months we're probably going to see at least some flattening out and some upside, so could take us very easy back up to this monthly 50, but it doesn't mean to say we couldn't go sideways for a couple of months first before that happening, or even marginally lower. So but we're close to a low, so on that time frame, so just thought I'd mention that one to you. Anyway, back to the charts. Let's go back to the dollar yen. What I'm going to do, see, by doing this new recording, I'm now only 6 minutes in and I've already covered everything off. Right, so what we're going to do is I'm probably going to go down the gym shortly and just come back to this. I think it's going to be a long old slog. I suspect I'm probably going to get stopped out, but you never know. If I don't and it starts to run, what I will look to do today is to build the position, but it may not happen until NFP, non-farm payrolls, at 1:30 this afternoon. So we're really going to have to see. So I've got a lot to wait on today, so it could be a bit of a boring one for now. I'll press pause. Okay, just back. It's 10:30, and as you can see, it actually did run down for me. It's hit I put a limit order in for half the position at, as we can see, at the pivot. The daily pivot was at 99.92, so I put the limit order in at 93, and you see that's got hit while I've been out. So as you can see, from my initial risk of 10 pips. And we've locked in, what's that, 30 pips so far, just over. So I'm just going to see how this one's going to go. It could just, well, who knows at the moment, but it's gearing up now. If we come out to an hourly chart, so what it's done is it's come back down to test its hourly 50. So for all we know at the moment, that's just a sort of a test of an hourly 50, and it's going to bounce all the way back up here. But even if it was to do that now, I'm not even going to move my stop from 36, I don't think. I might maybe move it down a pip or two, but really, even if it came all the way back up and stopped me out, I'm still going to make 20 pips. It's only a very small position. Obviously, that's not what I want. So that's why I'm leaving the stop. I'm going to give it plenty of room, because we've got non-farm payrolls, and hopefully it just sort of consolidates for a few hours now until non-farm payrolls at 1:30, and then hopefully it doesn't do a spike up, spike me out, and then come down. But I think we're going to be looking at some more day trading around the NFPs, and it looks like we're going to be day trading this dollar yen. So that definitely looks like the way it's going to be. So so far so good, but you know, this trade with such a small stake could end up being, ultimately, if it does come down to my ultimate target, which is, like I said, that 4-hour 50. Let's go and have a look at it. I'm looking at it on my e-signal charts. It's actually at 99.17 actually on my e-signal charts. Here it is down here. So this is what we're looking for ultimately, if it is going to get down there. So it's got plenty of space. Obviously we've got plenty of space. It's another 80 pips from where we currently are. So if it gets down to there, it'll be about 100 pips on the second half. So to risk 10 to make, you know, whatever that is, just over 100 on the second half, and 30 on the first half isn't bad, is it? So, but what I'd like to do is around the NFP, put some more trades in around then. So let me stop blabbering for now, and we'll come back to this probably later. I can't see myself doing any more trading now between now and NFPs. I can't see that really. Resume. Okay, right. It's been several hours now. The time is 1:28. We have just under 2 minutes to go until the news is out, the big news. So non-farms. So obviously, as you can see, what happened here from this morning's trade, it's coming down. It's coming up. Sorry, ahead of the news. So we'll see how this is going to spike me out. Remember, my stop's up at what, 36 or so. So I'm going to bring a deal ticket over, because we will be looking to trade this. Don't know which way we're going to go yet, so it's really I'm going to be willing to go either way. Either way here on dollar yen. I'm going to focus just on dollar yen. So we've willing to go either way. So remember, I've got that half banked on that trade so far. So we had the one banked This one was still in. I've got my stop up at, as you can see, 36. So we'll just see what happens with that. I'm not going to bother moving stops around now. It's just, yeah, so we'll just see what's going to happen. So we have got 45 seconds. I'll press pause. Okay, so we've got about 10 seconds to go, so let's see where the fireworks are going to take us today. So soon find out, so good luck all. Look at the spreads all widening ahead of the news. Here it comes. Where are we going? Up, up, up. It's going up. Right, okay, I'm going to want to get in on this. Right, I've got one in. I want to be on the long side as it's gone up, of course. So I've obviously been stopped, but I'm long. I am long. I can bring the ticket over. So you can see I managed to hit that at whatever price that was. 72 I got in at. So I am long. But I've got stopped out on that remainder of that other trade. So now it's a case of seeing, okay, can I get any more off? We've come up to the prior highs. So it's the case of, okay, this is where it's going to get interesting. This is where we're going to find out whether I'm going to get big stop out. It's going to do a mighty reversal, or whether I'm right. So I've got the one unit in at the moment. I'll probably put another unit in, but I'm going to be careful. Got to be careful just in case this is a mighty spike. But otherwise, we'll see if we can get up to that 101 level, and if we can get up to there, I'll take the profit off. So let's just see. All exciting stuff here today. Same with trading at such small amounts, unfortunately, but because of the volatility, sometimes that happens. Okay, it's coming up towards that, so I'm going to have to look at the deal ticket to take it off if it does get up there. But look, you can see it's moving around a huge amount. So just it was at 90, it's back down again now. So let's see what's going to happen. All fun and games. Right, okay. I might even have to press pause in a minute. It's funny how quickly everything can change. My momentum charts are changing, and that's why I knew, that's why I said just ahead of the news that potential was there to get on the long side actually if it did come up. So and now I'd already read that in the charts, and now it's just a case of, okay, forget what you have to be prepared as a trader to be willing to change your mind and say, actually, well, especially when it's news related, okay, if there's stuff coming out, if the market's going to move in a different direction, I've got to be willing to go with that if I see everything. And like I said, all my momentum charts have switched, apart from the hourly, but the hourly will come in, so we could end up having a bit of a blast. So it's a case of just seeing if that's going to be the case. Shame I've only got the one unit in, but I can't add to it at this point. Makes it a bit difficult just yet to add. So we'll just see. And I think I'd like to see dollar yen break to new highs, which, oh sorry, it has done, it's broken the prior highs, so it's just a case of whether it's going to get up to hold on a second, I'm just looking off screen at the moment, so let's have a look here. So we've got a higher 184, right? Okay, yeah, so I think it has broken that, so it's the case really now of whether this dollar yen is going to be able to break higher once more. So let's see if we can get up to that 101. That would be nice to see. A good old target. I've got 198 is the daily R3, so if we can get up to 98, then I'll just bank that. So let's just see what's going to happen here. But if it settles a little bit, I may be able to build the position a little bit. Got to be careful because it's a huge, as you can see, huge bar. So I've got to be a bit careful if it did want to just do a complete reversal. But so far so good. We're 3 minutes in and it's not tried to reverse just yet. So we'll see. Oh yeah, I've got some slippage on my stop out there. Let's have a look at that just while we're waiting, as you can see. But that's the thing, that's the nature of if you've got stops in place. Look at that. So I actually got stopped out at 43. So my stops are at 36. It's not too bad, is it? About 7 pips actually. What are you complaining about? But that's what you have to expect, slippage, when you've got huge movements like that coming through so quickly. It's just part and parcel of the whole thing. I might even have to press pause. I'm going to press pause for a minute. Okay, so it's coming back a little bit for me, so I do want to try and get another unit in. Here we go. So okay, put the second unit in there at 68. I'm not going to be too fussy there, but at the moment I think that it's so far so good. Anyway, it looks okay. I mean, obviously if it does do a big reversal, I'm going to have my stop down at 20, so I will take a big loss if it comes down to 20. But that's why, in pippage terms, that's why I'm only going to put the 2 units in. So so I've got my 2 units in here now. So let's bring them across again. So I'm not going to add to it, so I'll take the deal ticket away now. So it's really now a case of, I was waiting for the close of the 5-minute candle, basically. That's what I was waiting for. So we've got those 2 in. So it's now just a case of whether we can get up to that 101 or just short of 101. And I'll take this one off, and then at least now I've got one that I can try and run, if it can run for us. So that's the whole idea. The momentum's looking good, but sometimes when you've got volatility like this, just as quickly as the momentum looks good, it can be taken away when it's very volatile. But so far so good. It looks all right. So we'll just see. Looks like I'm gonna have to press pause again. Okay, so we're just up here at the moment. We're up at 90 at the moment, as you can see. So just waiting to see if we've got a little divergence in place here. We've got a little 2-minute one, so I'm going to take that one off. Oh, if we can get back up to 91, maybe just missed it. But if not, I'll just leave it. But there is a bit of a divergence up there. So if we get back up there again, then I'll take that off. Looks like I might have just missed that one. It just goes to show you, doesn't it? By the time I'm playing around and making a decision there. Anyway, so far so good. It looks like we should have some more upside. It's just a case of the volatility and what it's going to do here. So I'll press pause again, come back to this. Here we go. So it looks like we're getting up there. So we're up into that zone. So I'm going to take that profit now at 93. So a little bit ahead of where I wanted, but we've got that little divergence there. So I've just taken that ahead of that, and I'm quite happy if it's going to carry on running through, obviously, on the other part, and that's the nice part. Now, what I need to do, it's all about the trade management of this now. So what I need to do is to have a plan as to what am I going to do. So I'm going to move the stop up. It'll be aggressive. So what was our entry? Let's move this across a minute. So the entry was at 68, so I want to have it at least at my entry. Okay, so but I'm hoping that whilst we're in this momentum move, we might even blip well above 101. Oh, there we are, one above 101. Silly me. So let's get the stop sorted first of all. So let's get this up. What I could do, 100, is move it up to the low of each bar, and that's all. Sometimes just a trick, and just say, okay, well, I'll lock this in, and then we'll come back to it and maybe trade again if I get a chance. So what I might do is just move it up to 80. What's that, about 88? So aggressively moving up to the low of each bar, but locking in obviously a few more gains there. And if it can just push through a bit more, then we'll see. But it's hit the daily R3, and now it's just a case of whether we can get that bit of more of a push through. And this is where it comes to, sometimes it doesn't, it'll just back off and I'll get stopped out, and it may still go higher. I think it's probably still going to go higher. And that's where I could actually just say, well, why don't I just move my stop down? But even if I move it to break even on this part of the trade, I could still get stopped out because it may want to do a bit more of a retrace. So it's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So I think I'm trying to get to a point where I can get this video out to you. We're 18 minutes in, it's 1:42 on a Friday afternoon, so that's why I've moved my stop up a bit more aggressively. But once we've completed this trade, I can then carry on trading, and I'll probably end up getting another trade here on the dollar yen. So that's what I'm going to do. So the stop is up at, as we can see, 88, so I'll actually get stopped at 87. That's okay. And lazy trading today, really. Just that one trade this morning that had a nice little rundown, and then just capturing a little bit of the news, and yet again watching the momentum, watching where the momentum is, the bands, all the usual stuff, and straightforward trading again. So just wait for the market when it came to the news. But this morning's move, I just saw that potential for the rollover, but then once you get closer to the news, you think, okay, yeah, it could still come down, but I have to be open to a big move up, and if that's the case, I'm going to want to be on that. So looks like I'm going to get some more trading here. We're going to have to see. If this comes down and stops me up, then we shall call this a wrap, and then looks like I'll be able to get trading again as it pulls back. So it's just a case of waiting. So let's just see where it gets to. May still, sometimes you think it's going to pull back and it just goes again. So we'll just see here. I'll press pause for a second. Well, that has it nicked me. Looks like I'm stopped out. Yeah, I am. So I was just doing something else there. So it has taken me out at 87. Must have just pinched me. Okay, not bad. 300. What's that? I don't know how much it is. About $500 today. so far on the video update. So for doing next to nothing all day. So all good stuff. That's pretty much me done. It's a wrap, and be back in touch on Monday. Have a great weekend.